Hiya, I'm Mr. Charisma, and this is the very first of my new videos on pickup. So, how do you pick up? Well, there's lots of theories, and I've come up with my own one. Now, you get naturals, and you get people who are more trained. I'd say, personally, I was halfway in between. I'm at university now, so for you Americans, that's the same as college. Now, when I was at school, I didn't get that many girls. Now, I found you have to be like a certain popularity to get the girls at high school. But as you progress, you can learn game, and you change, you become more confident, and this is self-learned. For me, it's all psychological. If you go out with the mindset, I'm not going to pull tonight, you will not pull. If you go out believing that you are the biggest player in the world, that you are David Beckham, that you are Gok Wan, well, maybe not Gok Wan, if you believe you are anyone who can pull a girl, you will. Now, how do you do this? Well, there are a few ways, and I'll talk about night game today, because that's like what my favourite. You pick a girl up from a club, take them back to your room, and try and seal the deal. Happy days. So how do you do this in the club? Well, there are a few ways. First, at the bar. Now, when you're at the bar, this, in my opinion, is probably the worst way, because girls tend to think you're chatting them up. You see a lot of guys there say, oh, what are you drinking? Do you want me to get you a drink? Boring, and the do you want me to get you a drink line, that's never going to work, because girls will take your drinks like that. Think about it. If another guy came up to you and said, do you want a drink? You're not going to say no, see you later. You're going to say, yes, I want that drink, I want to down it. So when you're at the bar, play a bit hard to get, like maybe a bit mysterious. Say, is that, for example, if they're drinking a VK, is that orange VK? Okay, that's not that mysterious, but that will get their attention. They'll be like, yeah. Then you need to say something a bit more like complex, a bit more deep. So, like, what brings you here? Get on a conversation. A lot of pickup artists, they'll tell you to like neg them early on. I don't think so. I think get in a conversation, because I don't think it's bad to get in a conversation. If in a club you come away like flirty from the off, I think a lot of the time girls will reject you unless they're up for it like massively, and only a very small majority of girls are like up for it straight away. So get into a conversation, get them comfortable, because in a club situation I think comfort is the biggest thing, and just get talking, and then you move on to the next stage, which is flirting. That's what I do a lot, and it works. Now you get talking, have a normal conversation, preferably move away from the drink as soon as possible, because it's a bit boring if you have a 5-minute conversation on your favourite drinks in the club and what to buy from bargain booths the next time you go. But that's a good start point, what you're drinking, and say a story like about your experience with like a VK orange. A funny story that will get them laughing a little bit. Now, after you've opened them at the bar, I'll move on to the dance floor. And when you're on the dance floor, it's then about the touch. However, I think the best place to open, rather than the bar itself, is actually the dance floor itself. Now, when you're on the dance floor, the lights they're going, they're flashing, it's dark, so you've got to make an impression. Now, if you just go and grind up behind a girl, it's probably not making the right impression, unless they're absolutely slaughtered, and that's not really the sort of girl you want, because the sex probably wouldn't be great. So when you're on the dance floor, make an impression, go up to them, face on. So if you're watching me now, I'm going to come up to you, and I'm going to look in your eyes. Eye contact is the biggest thing. It is huge. If you look nervous, with your chin down and you're mumbling a bit, you're not. If you're leaning in, can you hear me now? That's not great. What you need to do is chin up, sit back, stand tall, and talk loud. Because in a club, there's a good chance they won't hear you properly. So you need to talk loud, pronounce your words. But because they won't hear you properly some of the time, and in fact a lot of the time, it's about your eye contact. Maintain your eye contact. Now, I start off with normal eye contact, looking like right eye to right eye, speaking at this sort of volume, this sort of pace. However, you can tell straight away if a girl's interested. If she maintains the eye contact for a few seconds, I think that's a great IOI, an indicator of interest. So you can pursue that girl if you're interested yourself. Now sometimes I go up to a few girls as a bit of a warm-up at the start of the night who perhaps are a little bit below par, just to get in the zone. But when you're there, you're talking to a girl you like, and she's giving you IOIs such as looking at you, maintaining conversation, and her body is facing you. That's a big one. When her knees and her torso are actually facing directly towards you, rather than side on, and she's looking at you like that, that is another IOI. But when she's doing that, I pursue the girl, talk to her for a couple of minutes, and then casually slow down your pace a bit. Look at her right eye, then slowly look at her left eye, then look down towards her lips. Now this will really get her going quite a lot, and it's at this stage of the conversation where you can tell if things will progress. And at this stage of the conversation, the dance or whatever, when you've gone a bit more slower, a bit more suave, you're looking at her lips, that's when you can go in for the kiss. So I hope you pick up plenty from this video. This will be the very first. Thank you very much. For lots of girls.